You take a paddock which hasn't been cultivated for 100 years and tear into it and find it's full of twitch. Well, you've got to do something about that. Otherwise, you're fighting twitch for the rest of your life.
Or why not just spray it?
Well, that doesn't sort of work too well with the the holistic green natural side of things, which I certainly wouldn't have been in that camp 40 years ago, but I sort of am now.
Okay. So how do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
It's this type of weather isn't very helpful. The weather we had before Christmas was brilliant, so you just keep on grubbing it to the surface, and the sun and the wind desiccates the twitch. It's a rhizome, so it runs along and underground and roots itself down, so it's pretty persistent. But you can get on top of it, and then you can work with it. Like the potatoes, part of them they've shaded a lot of it out. The pumpkins certainly shaded out because they canopy the whole ground. But when you're talking about small stuff like beans, peas, sweet corn, anything like that, the stuff can get in amongst them. But we'll get there. It's old-fashioned way. Like our forebears never had any sprays to do it. I think you get to rub shoulders with people from all fabric of life, and that's what actually makes it a pretty picture. Yeah, and occasionally the differences bubble to the surface, but the people of now of an age where they've got a bit more mild and a bit more mellow, and there's a common cause that overrides that.
So you've got a lot of machinery has been offered to you?
Yes. We spud planter repaired out of the ether, out of somebody's shed, and that was rebuilt by one of our local chaps, John Sidey, 87-year-old, made a beautiful job rebuilding it. And we've got the choice of about 4 diggers, so we'll pick the best one.
The best one or the oldest one?
Right, the best one. I think some people that if we didn't have the garden, there's people that would hardly leave their homes in some ways. And I'm surprised at some of the people that are working with us now. I didn't think they would want to or be capable of doing a lot, but I've been proved wrong.
I love seeing everybody work with each other. You get old, young, stupid, wise, foolish, you get us all there, and we're all adding our little 5 cents worth, and it ends up being $1. And I think it's in the back of all our minds is that the old saying is that in order to feed somebody, you've got to show them how to fish. You don't give them the fish because it'll only feed them for one day. And as you know, if you show them how to fish, they can feed themselves forever. And I think most of the people are the same, except with me, I'm a bit more softer. I'd like to see us give some of it away, and I think you shouldn't have to put them through. You shouldn't have to vet people. Accept them the way they are. They may be screwing up their lives. They've spent their money on some dope which they shouldn't have. Yeah, we wouldn't know those stories, but just give them a sack of spuds at least. At least, then they're beginning to talk, and they say, look, if you want some more, mate, roll up your sleeves and we'll show you how to grow some, all right? Yeah, so that.
So in a year's time, what do you see in a year from now? What do you think? What do you see?
I reckon it'd be great to see the high school involved in it.
Yeah.
And the primary school.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see them there. It'd be awesome. I'd like to see elderly people that are having a hard time, their spouse has died and they're only earning one. You live on your own for they get $360. You try and live off that.
Impossible.
And you're sick and you're going to see the doctor and some spuds go a long way. They're not worth, whatever it is, $1.50 a thing. You're talking, you're giving them gold. Just give them the spuds. Oh, thank you very much. That helps me stretch out my budget.
If you're Irish, that's all you need.
That's right. Yeah. So we're there to help each other, and as the emphasis is on the word community, and that's what it's about. So if we can help each other, good on us.
So if you look at this, is this your medicine cabinet?
Well, food is your medicine, if you realise it. The least toxins you've got in you, the more likely you're going to stay healthy and never get sick.
So you've got a great garden at home, but yet you're spending time here.
Well, the point is that a community effort is so much more rewarding, really, than an individual garden. I mean, you've been doing it all my life, and to have community gardens is probably the best thing that's ever been invented, really. And even if everyone's got different ideas, and a lot of them can be shared, I don't mind sharing all my knowledge, especially with young kids.
I was going to meet for another lot in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, just before the sun hits it.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah, sure.
How did you break that earth? How did you manage to break it in the end?
I guess with a spade, I'm not quite sure, but that particular ground was full of twitch,
Okay.
really bad.
So does twitch hang onto the onto the plough?
It sort of forms a mat
Okay.
and won't break up.
You can't do it. So in the old days, how did they do it?
Well, probably the same way as we did, but that particular plough, the cutting skeeth was a bit worn, and of course it wasn't cutting the twitch, so then it tore it and jammed up.
I don't understand anything about farming, although I've lived here for a long time.
Yeah.
But when I'm standing on the paddock and there's you and Jeff, Chart and Winton and you're talking, I can hear the echo of history. We've got one machine which is 100 years old, the potato planter.
Yeah.
You fixed that up, didn't you?
Well, helped.
But isn't that like going back in time for you? A wee bit?
Oh yes, but how else are you going to dig potatoes without something like that?
But isn't that one of the nice parts, I think? It's like revisiting an era that's gone when we're down there twitching, taking twitch out with our fingers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that old potato, we had the planter and the digger we're going to use soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they'll both work quite well.
But weren't they designed to be horse-drawn?
Yeah. Yeah, they're both horse-drawn. They've been converted for a tractor hitch.
Yeah.
The planter's still wheel-driven. The digger has been converted to power take-off, which is driven by the tractor.
Okay, yeah.
We've had to do quite a few repairs on it. I think farmers come into two categories. There's the ones that are very good with stock and dogs, and those that are good handymen and good with machinery. And to find someone that's good at both is reasonably rare. That's my opinion.
Okay. What will keep this community garden going?
Well, I guess the membership is the key one. I honestly had a few doubts myself at the start. I was pleased to help with the initial cultivation, but I've been quite impressed with the numbers there now. There must be something like, 20, 30 people taking an interest.
Yeah.
So I'm not involved with the committee or anything, but just to go along and see what's happening there is quite inspiring to me.
Yeah.
It's a good interest.
That's good for us too.
Yeah.
And what is it? What are we trying to do here? Why are you involved? Why are you involved in this garden?
Well, mainly because I heard someone was setting up a garden, or would like to see the garden set up here. Realised how valuable it is in terms of getting people together. And we just assumed in a small community it would be even more valuable.
Some people say you build a garden to feed people. You're saying you're building a garden to bring people together. That's a whole different thing.
I think that's the advantage I see here.
Yeah.
But the design thing is, there's another side to that as well. I thought that there was quite a lot of work necessary to work with council to get their support and approval for the land to be used.
Right.
So it was a good chance to say, let's do a drawing of how good this could be, and show it to council and say, look, we can do this.
Also, so your drawing is actually a political move.
Yeah, I think it is a political move, yes.
Keep them happy.
Because I've worked for councils before, and they're usually quite nervous until they get enough information to say, yes, this will be a good thing.
So your engagement in the team is pivotal, but you're not here all the time for us to grab you to get ideas. So it's an interesting.
Well, we're prepared to do whatever is necessary, given that limitation. Okay. I'm quite happy for you to ring me up and say, look, we're having a discussion the other day about doing so and so. What would it look like if we were to do this? When we do a drawing, I'm really happy to do that. It's good fun for me. I'd like to be involved, but I can't guarantee how often we'll be here. Maybe we'll come here forever.
Okay, you had a field. You started with a field. All you had was $5 in the bank, and the possibility that the land was contaminated from the old railway site. So how did you cope with that?
Yeah, the council were pretty worried about that, so we got Colin Murcutt from the city. He's a landscape ecologist, and he tested the soil for us and found that it was free of contaminants, quite beautiful, 12 inches of topsoil.
Yeah, so he did that pro bono, I imagine. Yeah.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Good man. We owe him a bag of potatoes, right?
Yeah, a few bags of potatoes.
Okay. And you've got all the produce, we've just seen that. So what's your plan for next year? What's the main thing?
Well, we need some sort of place to meet, some sort of focal point of the garden. So we're trying to raise funds for a structure of some kind to get out the wind, somewhere to have a cup of tea and talk.
Okay, so between now and next year you hope to...
Yeah, that's one of the projects, yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck with that.